Hi, my name is Samantha Monroy, and this is my Ecological Interactions project. I chose the say whale. The say whale is their generic name. Their scientific name is Balanoptera borealis. They are the third largest member of the Balanopteridae family. They weigh up to 100,000 pounds. At full length, they are about 40 to 60 feet long. Their lifespan is about 50 to 70 years. They are the top of the food chain in the marine environment, and they live all around the world. They inhabit all oceans and adjoining seas, but tropical and polar regions they do avoid. They are the fastest swimmers in the whale family. They average between 30 to 34 miles per hour. Whales are at the top of the food chain, which is an important role in the marine environment. When observed, they are either alone or in a group of 2 to 5. Something that is distinct to the sei whales is they do dive differently. They don't have a curvature in their back, so they actually just sink, and they have a larger dorsal fin compared to others. And if you look at this picture, you do see that they have like an indent right here on their forehead. That is what allows them to be distinct and allow them to be seen as a sei whale compared to other whales. Through gulping and skimming, they eat about 200,000 pounds of food per day, and they could dive between 5 to 20 minutes at a time. Like I said, they are found in all oceans and adjoining seas. However, because of their wide distribution, their behavior patterns are unpredictable. The sei whales are highly vulnerable in the ocean due to human activities such as vessel strikes, entanglement, ocean noise, and climate change. Vessel strikes are due to ships, and because of increased ship traffic, it results in increase of the risk of vessel strikes. So back in the 1994, this was one documented incident of a vessel strike. This boat actually pulled into the Boston Harbor and found that there was a sei whale carcass in the bow. So that is one of the many instances of a vessel strike, but that is one that has been documented. Entanglement is getting caught in fishing gear. This is not only just for the sei whales, these are for other marine life, but this is one of the biggest threats that these whales encounter. It's because once they get caught in fishing gear, their natural instinct is to actually like swim away. And because they're a fast swimmer, they'll swim away, but they have all this gear attached to them, which will result into fatigue, and the fatigue will allow them not to be reproductive, and unfortunately will cause death and a decrease in their population. Ocean noise is a result of either from boats or other, human activities. And unfortunately, these ocean noise interrupts environmental cues, causing behavior shifts. So, for instance, because these animals rely heavily on their hearing, when there's a lot of disturbance of ocean noise, unfortunately, it causes behavior shifts. So, for example, if there's too much noise in one area that they are in, they will obviously go away, but that could result into their feeding, their reproduction, their mating. So ocean noise is actually one of the leading threats of the depletion of the sei whales. And climate change. Climate change doesn't only affect us on land, but it also affects our ocean animals, including the sei whales, and this will affect prey distribution and reproduction. So, even though commercial whaling has been stopped, sei whales are subjected to scientific whaling by Japan killing for research. So, this act has been taken place, the Endangered Species Act. The sei whales have been hunted since 1860, and it wasn't until the 1900s the decrease availability of bluefin whales, the sei whales, then were taken place into killing. Then in 1986, the IWC officially stopped commercial whaling, but 50 sei whales are killed annually by these Japanese people for scientific reasons. Unfortunately, today they are in the status of endangered, and this act of 1973 states that any species which is in danger of extinction throughout all or significant portions of its range. And it's not just for animals, but for plants too. So this program for the conservation of threatened and endangered plants and animals and the habitats in which they are found. It's the most effective, and it has a success rate of 99% for things that have been in the status of endangered. And something that they do is it's not a immediate like change. You're going to see an increase in this certain population. It's a monitored over time. Once they are under this act, Endangered Act, they are closely looked at, and with that, it comes a long-term commitment, and it's a gradual process that they do take into consideration, just because factors such as habitat, food availability, and reproduction and climate all play vital roles into this process. And through that, obviously, they are going to start documenting and start seeing patterns of these whales to help reproduce and help replenish this depleting population. So some conservation efforts that have been put in place today is minimizing the noise disturbance in the ocean, respond effective and immediately, review and research projects, educate the public, and monitor the population. I found it most important to educate the public. Although all these conservation efforts are very important, just doing this project helped me be educated about these animals. I chose a whale because I grew up going on lots of boat rides and seeing whales personally, and they are such a beautiful thing. However, if I'm being honest, I wasn't sure that they were endangered. And just doing some research, just educating myself, I'm more aware now of what I can do to help them. There's a lot of projects and research just to help understand these whales because their behaviors and their distribution are unpredictable. And something that is important is for us to respond efficiently and effectively at a timely manner, just to help monitor and help understand these animals as well. The Christian worldview. This is so cool because God created them. On the fifth day, He created and populated the waters above and below. And when He did so, He breathed life into them as He did for us. He spoke out of nothing, and that is called ex nihilo, and that is defined as into existence. So on that fifth day, when God populated the waters above and below, He populated the sei whale. And that's like so amazing and so like it leaves me in such awe that he found beauty and goodness in these animals. And that gives us a purpose, that gives us a calling, because he, on the sixth day, he made us, which is the day after he populated the waters above and below. And our purpose is to be good stewards and take care of his things, to have dominion over it, subdue it, fill the earth, be fruitful, and multiply. From the fish to the birds to every plant to the living things above and below, he found it good. And he doesn't make anything out of the contrary. He's very like decency in order. And that is in the Bible, where he makes everything in decency and order. And for us to be good stewards, our purpose is to help them, is to do it. And I wholeheartedly believe that God does everything in his perfect timing. And I believe that I was meant to choose this project, to understand, to have a heart, and to understand that we can't take his creation for granted. That these animals, the sei whale, is important to me as a cow is important for me. In conclusion, having an understanding and compassion towards these big swimmers, although they do not present predictable patterns, we cannot forget what they do for us, and they do matter. They just are as important as the krill in the sea, and their interactions play a vital role in the ecosystem. Conservation efforts are in place to preserve them for the near and far future. Thank you.